Hello and welcome. Now let's code our Arduino Uno board so that it can send data through the serial communication protocol to our ESP board. Nothing will be fancy on our Arduino side. We will take samples from an analog to digital converter and send it over soft serial. In order to do this, let's first open up Arduino IDE. Now we will basically take sensors reading and we will send it through the soft serial communication protocol. Let's create a new code. Now, the first thing that we need to do is include the soft serial communication protocol. So include software serial.x. Now, the software serial will be conducted using two pins, and let's choose pins number 2 and 3 as an example for the receiver and the transmitter. Okay. So the RX and TX will be number 2 and 3, or pins number 2 and 3. And here we are not using the hardware serial. You have to make sure that you understand the difference between software serial and hardware serial. Now, inside the voice setup, what we need to do is initialize the serial communication, serial.begin, at a specific baud rate. Then we need to print something to make sure that it's working. So print new line, and let's write project for interfacing Arduino with ESP32. Okay, now once you are done, you must start the software serial using the object that we already defined here as W. So as w.begin, and we have to assign a baud rate. We will use the same baud rate. Now this serial is the one that you see when you click the serial monitor, and this is the software serial. So this is the hardware serial and this is the software serial. Now let's go inside the void loop. We started the hardware and the software serial. Now inside the void loop we need to print something. So let's write serial.print a new line. Inside it, write send data to ESP32 board. After that, we need to read the sensor, and let's connect it to A0 or analog 0. So ADC value will equal analog read, and inside it we can write 0 or A0. Now after this we need to send that to the serial. So serial dot print and inside it we must enter data in a specific format. So the format will usually be like this. We have to write, okay, like this. We have to add two curly parentheses and add slash here, and between these two curly parentheses we have to enter the sensor data and sensor ID. So let's say that we have more than one sensor. Here we can define an ID, so int sensor ID equals, let's say 50, and this, or let's say 1. This is the first sensor that we are adding here. This will be more reasonable. Okay. Now, inside here, you have to write data in a specific format so that ESP can receive it and send it to the web. Now, you have to write exactly like me. Let's start by adding the curly parentheses. After that, add a slash, then add two text marks. Inside them, write the name of the variable, which is sensor ID. After that, add a slash. Then between these two marks, add double points. That's it. This is the first line. Now, the second line will send the sensor ID value. So we will have to paste this variable, sensor ID. This will write sensor ID in the text or in the serial monitor, and this will send its value. After that, we must add a comma. Then we can add serial.print. After the comma, we need to send the ADC value that we just received. So add slash here. Then after this, add ADC value. Okay, let's print it again, serial. So here you need to add the slash, and here you need to add ADC value and another slash. Then between these two you have to add double points. Then you need to print the value. So serial.print. Here you will print this variable, which is the value of our sensor, and we need to end this, so we have to write serial.print. Inside it, we need to add the curly parentheses. As you can see, we started it with the curly parentheses, and we ended it with the closing tag for the curly parentheses. Now, to end this, you must enter a new line, which means that you are done and the data must be sent. So add print ln. That's it. This is the data that we are going to send to the serial or the hardware serial monitor. Now we need to send the same data to the software serial that we just created. And to do that, we just need to copy the very same code. So we can copy all of this and paste it, or we can write it again. But to save time, I will just copy this code and paste it here. Now you have to change serial with SW. It takes or it uses the very same methodology. So we will send the very same values. And at the end, we need to add a delay. Let's make it 3000 milliseconds or 4000 milliseconds. Now let's save our code. Let's name it Arduino Uno code. Click save. Now what you need to do is simply upload this code to your Arduino Uno. So let me hook up my Arduino Uno. Now that we have the board connected, go to the device manager. And from here, you can see the port COM8. So go to the tools, make sure that COM8 is chosen and Arduino Uno. Then verify the code to make sure that it doesn't have any errors. Now upload the code. Now once the code is uploaded, you can open up the serial monitor and see for yourself the kind of data that's being sent. As you can see, send data to ESP32, and now the sensor ID is 1, the ADC value is 319, and it's changing. Now this data will be sent to the ESP board through the serial or the soft serial protocol, and we are going to cover the ESP32 coding. Now we are done with Arduino coding. Now you can send any other value depending on your project, but this is it. If your serial monitor is showing this, it means that the serial communication is working correctly and you are sending data in the correct format, curly parentheses and opening and closing, the sensor ID between 2 double quotation, the ADC value between 2 double quotation, and we have the sensor ID value and the sensor value, and we have a comma here between them. So if you want to send other values, you have to add a comma and add data in the very same format, this and 2 double points, then the value. So we can send 100 value from Arduino to ESP, or you can even send 10 sensors reading depending on the sensor ID and the ADC value for each sensor. But here we are only sending 2 values, sensor ID and the sensor value, and this is the format that you have to send the data in. That's it for this lesson. Thanks for watching. This is Ashraf from Educational Engineering Team.